talk about Kevin Durant and the San Antonio Spurs. There has been a lot of reports over the last 2 to 3 weeks that both parties have interest in each other with KD and the Spurs. Now, this is what we know for sure. This is not speculation. Dating back to a couple months ago at the trade deadline, the Phoenix Suns, they went out there and they were shopping around. Not Devin Booker. They shopped around Bradley Beal at first. No one wanted to trade for Bradley Beal. He has a no trade clause. He's making over $50 million a year. He's one of the top highest paid players in the NBA. He's impossible to move right now. Solid offensive player, terrible defender. But when you look at KD, you can get a lot for Kevin Durant right now, even at the age of 36 years old. Kevin Durant is still averaging 26 points a game, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, shooting 52% from the field. But it's his three-point shot, 43% from three. One of the best scorers in the game till this day. So they shopped him around and they had conversations with the Golden State Warriors. There was a deal on the table, but Kevin Durant came out and he said that he did not want to go to the Golden State Warriors. He wanted to stay with the Phoenix Suns. The Golden State Warriors pivoted. They went with Jimmy Butler. That's very interesting. They did not notify Kevin Durant that they were shopping him around and they were going to potentially trade him. And now the Phoenix Suns have come out and they basically told Kevin Durant, look, we can't win with this current roster with you, Bradley Beal, and Devin Booker. The owner, he messed up. He went out there with a big three and big threes. And today's NBA, they just don't work. This isn't 2015, 16, or 17. When you look at the two teams in the finals right now, the OKC Thunder and the same with the Pacers, they drafted their talent. They went out there and they put the right core around their stars and they went into free agency and they made the right moves. They didn't go out there. They didn't make a major trade. Now, OKC, they did make a trade to bring in Shea when they traded Paul George away, but that's a different situation. So if you're the Suns right now, you're still trying to build around Devin Booker. Look at that team that you had many years ago that went against the Milwaukee Bucks in the NBA Finals. When I look at the San Antonio Spurs, you have the right pieces to give to the Phoenix Suns here. You have the 2nd overall pick. You have the 14th pick. Now look at it from this situation. We're going to talk about 3 stages here for the Spurs. You can trade the 2nd overall pick and the 14th overall pick for Kevin Durant and some young players. I think that's too rich. When I look at someone like KD, you could trade the 14th overall pick. You could trade Keldon Johnson and Devin Vassell to the Phoenix Suns and maybe Harrison Barnes. And now you have a situation to where you have KD in the front court with Wemby. You have De'Aaron Fox in the backcourt with Rookie of the Year Stephon Castle. That's a very good starting lineup, in my opinion. And you can still draft Dylan Harper with the 2nd overall pick. I don't look at the Phoenix Suns as a team that's going to go out there and get that much for someone like Kevin Durant because he is 36 years old. And let's not forget, a couple of years ago, he tore his Achilles with the Golden State Warriors, and he hasn't been one of the healthiest players to have in the NBA. He's still one of the best players that you can have, but he is older. So I don't think that the Phoenix Suns are going to get a high draft pick to bring in Kevin Durant. But trading the 14th pick, that's a solid pick. Getting rid of Keldon Johnson and the same with Devin Vassell, that could work out for you. And possibly Harrison Barnes. I like that situation. And that starting lineup still gives you a lot of versatility, and you still have some good pieces to come off the bench and give relief for guys like Wemby, the same with Kevin Durant and with De'Aaron Fox. And the same with Dylan Harper. He can come off the bench. He can give you very good production. A rookie that's out of Rutgers. And we're going to really dig into this game towards the end of this video. That's stage 1 for the San Antonio Spurs. Stage 2, obviously, it's Giannis. Now, this is a scarier situation if you are a Spurs fan. You can go out there, you can make a trade for Giannis if he tells the Bucks, hey, I don't want to come back. When I look at that situation with Milwaukee, it's disgusting. Bobby Portis has a player option. He may go out there, he may opt out of that deal. It's not much help with Giannis and the Bucks right now. Dame is going to miss majority, if not all, of next season, dealing with the torn Achilles injury that he suffered in the first round. And the Milwaukee Bucks, they have not been a good basketball team in the playoffs over the last few years. They have made dumb decision after dumb decision. But you still have Giannis there. Now, in order to bring in Giannis, you're going to have to give up a lot of draft picks for the future. The Milwaukee Bucks, they don't have a first-round pick until 2031. They don't control their own draft here. And it may be a 3 to a 4-team trade. You know how the NBA, they get down to crazy trades. The NFL is more so one-on-one with team-based. The NBA, they may work out a 3 to a 4-team deal, similar to what the Spurs did with De'Aaron Fox. It was a multiple-team deal. But look at Giannis. You have Giannis with Wemby. That's crazy. but you don't want to give up a lot of draft resources for the future, and you don't want to give up those young players. I can see a situation to where the Bucks are saying, hey, give us 3 to 4 first-round picks. We'll give you Giannis. We may give you a couple of second-round picks. We want Devin Vassell. We want Keldon Johnson. We also want Harrison Barnes, and they may want to go out there and possibly bring in Stephon Castle in the second overall pick. I think that's too much to go out there and trade for Giannis. He's still a great player. He's phenomenal. But I look at Kevin Durant, that's a safer trade in terms of holding on to your draft capital for the foreseeable future. And you can still have some solid bench production. You don't want to go into a situation to where your starting lineup has to go out there and save you day in and day out. You're going to lose in the postseason early on. You want to have a deep bench and a very good starting lineup. And right now, the Spurs have that without Kevin Durant and the same without Giannis. In my opinion, if De'Aaron Fox did not go down to the finger injury, if Wemby was not dealing with the blood clot issue, I look at this team, they may have made the NBA playoffs. They would have easily went to the NBA play-in tournament. That is the upside that they were playing with last season. And Wemby has been phenomenal since his rookie year. Now, this is stage 3. Stage 1 was Kevin Durant. Stage 2 was Giannis. Stage 3, you don't make a play for either one of those players. You go out there with the second overall pick. You get Dylan Harper from Rutgers. You go in there with the 14th overall pick. You select another player. You now have a backcourt that could possibly have Stephon Castle, just one rookie of the year. Devin Vassell, he can go out there. He can dribble the basketball around. He can be a playmaker for you. But when I look at Dylan Harper, he has the highest upside in this draft class besides Cooper Flagg. He averaged 20 points a game, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, shot 50% from the field. Now, his three-point percentage was 33% at the college level. He's going to have to go out there. He's going to have to do a better job in terms of being a shooter. And that's the one problem right now with the Spurs. They have a couple of shooters on their team. Wemby, he can go out there. He can stretch the floor at a high level. Harrison Barnes, he's very efficient. He shot very well from 3 this season with San Antonio. And he was excellent in terms of the mid-range game and getting to the basket. Just one of the best role players that you can have. And you still have Chris Paul hanging around if you want to bring him back for one more season. I think that's more practical for the Spurs, is to go out there and just stay the course. Keep this timeline the way that it is. You already made a major trade. The San Antonio Spurs, they rarely go out there and they rarely make trades in terms of going out there and bringing in big name stars. This organization, they're not like the Los Angeles Lakers and the same the Clippers. They won't just go out there and bring in stars just for the sake of bringing in stars. They're known to go out there and develop talent. Look at what happened with Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, Tony Parker, Boris Diaw. You have Splitter. All those players develop into being very good basketball players, some better than others. Tim Duncan is one of the best players in NBA history. Tony Parker is a slept-on player, the same with Ginobili coming off the bench. But Coach Pop, he built a culture with this organization by going out there and drafting those players from overseas and developing them and not rushing a timeline here. The NBA has changed so much. I know that we may look at it and say, bring in Kevin Durant by any means necessary. The same with Giannis. But we've seen teams do this in the past. They'll go out there, they'll make a major trade, and next thing you know, they're one of the weaker teams in their conference. This is a great situation for San Antonio. You needed a true point guard. That's what you got with De'Aaron Fox in the regular season. When you look at De'Aaron Fox, he's still one of the best guards that you can have alongside Wemby. I know that most people, they'll say that they'll rather go with Trae Young, but Trae Young, his defense just isn't there. I look at De'Aaron Fox, very good defender, one of the fastest players in the NBA. He can play very well off of Wemby. He only played 17 games with the Spurs. And this season, his three-point percentage did take a shot. But a lot of that is because of the injuries that he was dealing with. We've seen him in the past with the Sacramento Kings be a solid three-point shooter. He's not a great three-point shooter. That's not his game. He's a slasher. Him, Stephon Castle, Devin Vassell, they can get to the rim over and over again. And you have Wemby. We know what he is, one of the best players in the NBA. He's entering year 3. He's already one of the best defenders that you can have. The man is over 7 feet tall. And what he's able to do with the basketball, we haven't seen before from any player in the NBA. He can dribble the basketball up the court, but you don't want him to do that every single night. The reason why you brought in De'Aaron Fox is to take some of that stress off of Wemby and to put other shot creators around him. I would love to see KD with this team, but it has to be with the right price. And I look at Phoenix. They're the team right now. They desperately need draft capital. They need some bench help. So if you go out there and you make a trade to bring in Kevin Durant, and you could possibly just trade a player or two and just a couple of draft picks, That's phenomenal. But you don't want to risk your future here if you are the San Antonio Spurs. And I still do wish that Pop was able to go out there and coach this team. The work that he was able to do with Wemby in his rookie season was phenomenal. And the same with Jeremy Sohan in the past. And I look at Jeremy Sohan. He's not one of the best players in the NBA. I understand that, but he's a very good basketball player with the Spurs. You now have a brand new head coach. He was able to do a very good job last season and this year with Pop when he went down to his health scares. And I wish nothing but the best with Pop moving forward. He's now in the front office. He's still going to be around making decisions with this organization. But I think stage 3, that's the best stage for San Antonio here. You'll have to give up a lot of resources for Giannis, and the same with Kevin Durant. And if you're trying to win a championship right now, I believe that you can with Wemby as long as he can stay healthy with him playing alongside De'Aaron Fox. But expect for the New York Knicks to have conversations about possibly bringing in Kevin Durant. And expect for the Houston Rockets to possibly go out there and give up a lot to bring in Giannis. And Giannis has not asked for a trade just yet, but he has been exploring other options, which in my opinion, I think that he's going to go to a different team this offseason. Expect for this to be one of the craziest offseasons in NBA history because of the way that the NBA has changed. And this is one thing that I also want to bring up. The San Antonio Spurs, they're in one of the best cap situations in all of basketball. That new CBA is kicking everyone around right now. That's why the Phoenix Suns are in the situation that they're in. Devin Booker's making a lot of money. The same with Bradley Beal. The same with KD. The CBA has changed everything around, so now the flexibility is not there with certain contracts and certain stars. You just can't go out there and stockpile a bunch of players on one team. Because if you go over that second apron, it's hell to fill out the rest of your roster. So I look at the Spurs here. If you could go out there and continue to stay the course with these young players on these young contracts, let them grow and develop together and play with that continuity, you're working with something special. Once again, look at OKC. A lot of those players are homegrown. A lot of those players they drafted, they played well together within the last few years. The same with the Pacers, the New York Knicks. They're one of those teams that you look at, they threw everything together. They went to the Eastern Conference Finals. But once again, look at the situation that they're in. They may possibly move on from Cat after this year. They just fired their head coach. You don't want to be in that situation to where you just put a bunch of stars on one team and say, figure it out. Give them years underneath their belt. They could possibly make a huge trade at the trade deadline for this upcoming season. So they could still make a huge swing for a star. But I really want to see how De'Aaron Fox and Wemby can play alongside each other and have Stephon Castle back there. And I will say this, be on lookout with him. He could be one of the best perimeter players in basketball. And the reason why I say that is the Chris Paul effect. Everywhere Chris Paul has been as a veteran, the players have become better. Look at SGA with OKC. He learned so much with CP3. And I do believe one day we will see CP3 be a head coach. But let me know in the comment section below which stage should the Spurs rock with. Stage 1, Kevin Durant, stage 2, Giannis, or just stay the course in stage 3. But if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you like the video, hit the like button. Most importantly, I want each and every last one of you guys stay safe, stay positive. Thanks for the video, guys. God bless. Peace.